Crime in Louisiana is on the rise. Carjackings, theft, home invasions, shootings, and murder has plagued the state for many years, but 2024, it could be stated that by the end of the year, it will be at an all-time high. In this presentation, I'm going to break down some of the news and show you firsthand accounts of what people in Louisiana are going through. Now, this is touching to me because Louisiana is my home state.
All right, y'all, let's see. We're in a part of New Orleans right here all the time. They got people getting smoked while they driving. So we really supposed to be riding behind other cars, man.
If you're planning a trip to New Orleans this year, here are 3 things that you do not want to do if you want to make it home alive. First of all, don't ever get no hotel near Chef Mentor Highway. If you happen to get shot, your first instinct might be to call 911, but trust me, that's the wrong move. You're gonna die. Some of our dispatchers will hang up on you. That means your only chance of survival will be a close friend or Uber. Because you would rather send an Uber $500 or $1,000 through cash.
New Orleans, Louisiana. Better have that Second Amendment.
Baton Rouge Police Department is investigating a deadly shooting on Tuesday, January 4th. Baton Rouge Emergency Medical Services responded to the 1900 block Kansas Street Tuesday. Woman shot, killed after confronting car burglars in Baton Rouge, the police say. Shooting at an apartment complex just north of LSU leaves 1 person injured, officials say. Man dead after shooting in Baton Rouge, police say, 2 days ago. 2 separate shootings overnight in Baton Rouge leaves 2 dead, 1 hurt. Man arrested after double shooting on Sycamore Street that left man dead and girl injured. A shooting in Baton Rouge on Friday night left a man dead and a 17-year-old girl injured.
Hey guys, there's super sad news coming out of New Orleans. 1 person is dead and 11 others were injured in a mass shooting that took place outside of a New Orleans nightclub. This was just before midnight last night on Sunday, April 14th. At the time, shots were fired on South Peters Street, and the shooting reportedly occurred at Republic Nola. All of the shooting victims were said to be adults. One lady who was staying at a nearby hotel said that she woke up to hearing 6 or 7 gunshots. She said from her hotel window she saw about 30 to 40 people pouring out of the nightclub. It was stated that some people fled down the street while others propped themselves outside of the club's exterior. Responding officers found that 1 woman had been shot and was lying on the sidewalk. She was pronounced deceased on the scene, and she has been identified as 24-year-old Jezreel Poliate. The others injured included 6 women and 5 men, and they were transported to local hospitals. That was to receive treatment for their gunshot-related injuries. They are reported to be in stable condition, or they have already been released and treated. Reportedly, Jezreel, who is pictured here, was a great person who would give the shirt off her back to anyone. At the time of the shooting, an event called Church on Sundays, Sundaze, that's how it's spelled, was taking place inside of the club. A witness inside the club said it was a chaotic scene when shots rang out. 4 bullets went through the club's padlocked doors, and a car parked near the club was also struck with bullets. Police have not released any information regarding a possible motive or a suspect. Crime Stoppers is offering a $5,000 reward for information leading to the shooter's arrest, or a $1,000 reward for each weapon that was linked to the mass shooting. Tipsters can anonymously call 504-822-1111. This is just so sad, and reportedly New Orleans is getting pretty rough. I think it's always been pretty violent, but from what I've read, it's getting worse. My heart goes out to Jezreel's family.
All these windows are broke overnight. Look, I don't know if it's overnight. The garage I park at. All these car windows are broken.
Henry Glover was a 31-year-old black man that had survived Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans along with his mother, brother, and sister. On September 2nd, 2005, Glover was walking through the parking lot of a strip mall in a section of the city called Algiers. New Orleans Police Department police officer David Warren fatally shot Glover in the chest from a second-story balcony from where Warren had been guarding a detective bureau office. Glover's burned body was later found in a destroyed Chevrolet Malibu parked on the Mississippi River levee. In 2010, a U.S. federal grand jury indicted 3 current and 2 former New Orleans police officers in the shooting of Henry Glover.
I want to go down this way a little bit. All right, so we're done.
Hey cousins, Chad Barrett has been found. Unfortunately, he was found unalive. He had been missing since April 9th. My thoughts and prayers are with his family.
One reason not to walk your dog in New Orleans east.
Earlier, a couple blocks down in the Maroney, a woman is seen running with her dog from what appears to be a similar car. Witnesses say the woman had walked up on yet another armed robbery nearby where 2 women were being held at gunpoint. She ran away and the suspects followed her. Eventually, she was able to run into a restaurant nearby for help. That's when the suspects fled. This man was there.
8 o'clock at night, there's still people hanging outside. And I mean, they had no concerns that anything was going to happen to them, and that they were so bold to like chase someone a block. Like, you rob 2 people, like I would think your next move would be to get away as far as you can from where you did that. But to then chase someone a whole block to rob them or hurt them too just seemed, I don't know, way too far.
Woman killed in an overnight shooting at hotel along I-12. In Baton Rouge, a woman died after she was found with gunshot wounds at a hotel along Airline Highway that's been plagued by violent crime. The Baton Rouge Police Department said the shooting was first reported shortly after 1:30 a.m. at the Oyo Hotel on Gwinnett Avenue, just north of I-12. It appeared the victim was shot multiple times. In recent months, law enforcement has made multiple arrests and shootings reported at the hotel, including one where a victim was shot in the head.
The look on her face when she heard the charges.
How you doing?
Okay, are you Jadarius Jones?
Yes, sir.
All right, I have read the arrest and booking report. I do find there to be probable cause for the 4 charges against you. I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Mr. Jones, you've been charged with 3 separate counts of second-degree murder. You've also been charged with a separate count of armed robbery. You will be held without bond on all 4 of those charges. Your next court date is going to be February 7th.
What's up, brody? Tell me your journey, bro. Tell me how they did you, bro.
So basically, when I was 15, I got shot in my stomach. When I was 16, I caught my case. I came to prison. While being in prison, serving my time, one day my stomach just started hurting out the blue. I had to get emergency surgery, which resulted in having a colostomy bag. That was about 3 years ago. I was supposed to only have a bag for 3 months. It took them 2.5 years to end up reversing the first colostomy bag I had. I got that off in June of 2023. Just a couple days ago, in December, 5 months later, after I thought my body was bouncing back and I was healthy, I had a real sharp pain, and I was rushed to the hospital again, and this resulted in me having to have the bag again. Now they're telling me I gotta have it for 90 days. But ultimately, like, the prison system is fucked up, and I just want to shed light on it. Like, coming to prison showed me, and this situation showed me, like, man, they'll fuck you over, they'll fuck you up. And ultimately, I know I'm gonna overcome, and I'm strong, and I'm gonna stay solid through any predicament or anything. I finish my 10-year sentence next year anyway, but like, I just want to show y'all like.
So what you are looking at right now is people who were inside of a bar and grill who walked outside and noticed not one, not two, not three, but 4 cars had their windows bust out. In the background, I can hear a young lady saying that there's a bullet hole in her window, and they shot through her window. And guess what else she said? They left her iPad and they took her gun. Now, mind you, some of these people had only been there for about 30 minutes, and people are going around and doing this. New Orleans, TD Mayor Cantrell, Chief Ferguson, what's your response? What we doing?
Shit. I don't know what they got going on with this car, but it's like a lot of little ticks and stuff on the car. All over the car.
Bitch. Full that dope. Ain't that nigga go around the corner on dope sprees, you heard me? And go get dope, but won't put a fucking box of cereal in his mama house.
I bought cereal yesterday and milk. So what the fuck you talking about? What the fuck did you buy?
Who? I ain't got about nothing. We get
Sit down, I'm talking about you.
Today's story has some very disturbing and graphic details. Before the tragic incident, 34-year-old Janice David moved to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where she worked at a local Domino's Pizza. Around this time, Janice was struggling with substance abuse, but she wanted to stop taking drugs so she can live a better and healthier life. According to her family and friends, they were there to support her along the way. Just when Janice wanted better for herself, her life was cut short by her 35-year-old boyfriend, Earl Lee Johnson. In April 2022, the Baton Rouge police were informed of a disturbing Facebook Live video, which was seen by 200 viewers. In the Facebook Live video, Earl and Janice were sitting in the car. Earl had his phone on the dash. Earl was going crazy, like he started talking incoherently. You couldn't understand what he was talking about, but he was saying something about some of his stuff was stolen. This is when things get disturbing. Janice was on the driver's side. Her hands were tied with jumper cables, and she was panting heavily to tell Earl to stop. She was begging him to stop because what Earl was doing was beating, choking, and stabbing Janice on live. There were times in the video where Earl had got a metal bar and repeatedly hit Janice with it and stabbed her multiple times. The video was reported. Now the police were trying to figure out where Earl and Janice could possibly be. Someone informed the police of a BMW in the area sitting in an empty parking lot, and inside the car was a woman's body. When the police went to the destination, that's when they made the horrific discovery. Inside the car was Janice's body. This part is graphic, what I'm about to say, but Janice was found tied to a steering wheel with a knife plunged into her neck. Janice was beaten, choked, and stabbed between 50 to 70 times. Before he fled the scene, Earl tried to set the car on fire. Then the police were on the lookout for their suspect. The police eventually found Earl. He stole in the car and was in a high-speed chase with the police. The thing that gets me with Earl is that he just got out of prison from serving a 15-year sentence in January 2022. Now he's back in prison. I guess that's where he belongs, right? People were wondering why Earl did that to Janice, and it's believed that day that he was on narcotics. The person that she loved and cared about did the unthinkable to her. He tortured and killed her on Facebook Live for so many people to see. Earl is currently being held without bond. If convicted, he faces up to 30 years to life in prison. My heart goes out to Janice's family and friends, and I'll be back to do more true crime videos for you guys.
Crime exists because of poverty. Where there's high poverty rates, there's always going to be high crime. If the government wants to restrict or stop crime, then they have to find a way to increase income in those areas. However, that's not an excuse as to why people are murdering each other in the great city of New Orleans. It saddens me that this is taking place. So I made this video about New Orleans and Baton Rouge so people can see what we are going through here in Louisiana.